Well, hundreds of Hoosiers waiting for unemployment benefits. IT Mate has learned the reason for the delay for many is a new ID verification process designed to cut down on fraud. IT Mate's Richard Essex has been digging into the problem.
The state hired ID.me back in October. The state hired this company to check a person's identification before they filed for unemployment benefits. That way, they're supposed to cut down on unemployment fraud. The CEO of the company told me this afternoon that they are working as fast as they can. Jim Inslee has been out of work since last fall. He had received unemployment benefits without issue until the state adopted a new ID verification program.
So they just couldn't get my doc. I downloaded everything and it never would verify. It never would go in. They never would accept it.
The company hired by the state to verify IDs is called ID.me. I talked to the CEO of the company, Blake Hall.
I've received a handful of calls, emails from our viewers that are struggling to get their ID verified. What's going on?
What I'd say, broadly is that when you talk about workforce agencies, about 90% of the users who verify their claims will go through in real time, and that process takes about 5 minutes to go through. The other 10% or so might have to go into video chat to upload documents, and that could be for folks who don't have any credit history, or they don't have a phone with any kind of tenure. These checks are very, very important to make sure that there aren't organized crime rings that are just like taking personal data and using it to file a claim to defraud taxpayers in Indiana.
So through a series of verification processes, the company is making sure that the person attempting to file is in fact a person. The problem for people like Inslee, the process has been overwhelmed at times. The wait time to talk to a company representative varies from a few minutes to several hours. It has been 5 weeks of frustration for Inslee. He and several others that he works with have been ping-ponged back and forth between the State Department of Workforce Development and ID.me.
Several families that we do not have been verified.
Selena Adams had been out of work since last October and had received unemployment until the state required a recertification of her identification.
So, in other words, I had to recertify my information. Nothing's changed. Nothing is different. It's just they subcontracted this company to do our ID verification. That's the difference.
Hall did say the company had grown very quickly in the past several months. They have been asked to recertify past claims while processing new ones. And they are bringing in additional states and hiring close to 250 people just this month.
And it's not a question of being ready or not. It's like that these agencies are between a rock and a hard place where they go, do I continue to pay out on hundreds of thousands of fraudulent claims that are bleeding taxpayers of tens of millions of dollars on a weekly basis? Or do I go back and rescreen them?
Hall says that once the recertification of past claims is complete, the certification for new claims should be much faster. In Indianapolis, Richard Essex, WishTV, WishTV.com, and follow us on Facebook.